2023 spring game is underway. They will start off at the 30-yard line after this return. 15 carries last year for 33 yards. Ewers to his left. That one off the fingertips of Ja'Tavion Sanders. Worthy in motion. And they go to the new #1, switched his jersey in the offseason. 2-yard loss after the Jaron Thompson tackle. Ewers quickly gets it out, and again in and out of the hands of Sanders. Ewers had to hurry that one.
To the fans being here, and right now it seems like the offense is just a little sluggish. That's been a common theme for them this spring. The defense has been ahead of them.
Charlie Ferris with the punt. You bring up a great point, Sark. Technically healthy, missed the first 3 practices of the spring after having a setback with his foot. The handoff to new running back Savion Red, converted wide receiver.
Extremely aggressive. I like to see what he can do today as the true running back.
There he is again. Murphy dumps it off to him. It was pieces and take advantage of mismatches.
Yeah, I know that guy, Cal Shanahan. It's crazy.
Pretty familiar with him, eh?
Yeah.
3rd and 5, Malik Murphy. Over the middle, that one dropped.
Snatches the ball out of the air. Nice job by the DB there getting the ball out.
And coach wanted a clean game. Couple of drops early on, but that's all right.
Had on him last year after he played so well early in that Alabama game. But hey, this is the price of doing business at the quarterback position in college football.
Here's the highly touted freshman running back C.J. Baxter trying to create some running room there. Trying to live up to it. 3-yard gain. Whittington open in the flat. Jordan Whittington, coach is saying he is having an absolutely great spring.
And with those guys that they have on the outside now, man, Jordan Wilson's going to eat up the middle of the field.
Absolutely. Had 50 catches last year, more than his previous 3 seasons combined. That one hauled in by A.D. Mitchell, the transfer out of Georgia, tallest receiver on the team. Fans were really excited when he hit the portal and made his way to Austin.
Yeah, all 6'4" of them right there. You see him with the green jersey. A.D. Mitchell, man, this guy is a touchdown scoring machine. Feels like every time he caught a ball there at Georgia, especially in the college football, putting 6 on the board.
Had the big go-ahead touchdown against Ohio State in that semifinal. There's the give up the middle to Baxter.
He's dealing with, but he certainly has the talent to be a special back.
Play action fake. Ewers just throws it away.
I'm making these backs all understand that we're in this together. But what he's telling CJ is, go be CJ Baxter. Don't try to be Bijan Robinson.
On 3rd and 7, that one on the money. Grabs early wearing the non-contact jersey.
Yeah, and the thing I noticed most was just how easy that throw was for Quinn Ewers. Footwork was very clean. A.D. Mitchell threatened him vertical, sit it down, almost falls down. But I always tell my receivers, man, you better get up because I'm throwing that ball. I need you to catch it.
Even in the spring game, Ewers going deep down the field. Worthy hangs on and steps out of bounds inside the 10.
Oh. What a throw, right? Just the right amount of arch on the throw. You see him kind of shift over a little bit, throws it up for Xavier Worthy. And my man, you got the new number, but you got to stay in bounds. You got to stay in bounds to score right there.
Steve Sarkisian said, listen, that is an absolute focus this offseason. If we don't have the deep ball working, we're out of sync. Jaden Blue takes it down.
Drops in the past couple of years that he needs to work on. But if he can do that consistently down the field, man, this offense is going to be explosive. This offensive line is now much more experienced. You probably should.
Baxter, one of the biggest freshman running backs in the nation, coming out of high school, trying to punch it in, stacked up.
In the backfield before he could get his forward momentum going, awesome job.
Baxter again, and this time he's in. The freshman with the first score of the spring game for the White Squad. Opener closed, it worked. On for the extra point is Bert Auburn. And it's just hooking up with Worthy. I mean, every Texas fan knows this. That was his guy. He went to often targeted Worthy 114 times last year. 40 more targets than any other receiver on the team. Auburn kick. And the play blown dead. Savion Red will start off at the 30.
And, you know, you talk about all those targets that he threw to Xavier Worthy. They just want to increase the percentage of those that are actually being caught. right? So now you look at that drive. If this was a real game, I would say, hey, great job by the coaching staff of going back to the running game. That's the bread and butter of this Texas offense, allows them to hit those play action shots down the field.
Well, if you hear the buzz coming out of the crowd right now on the stadium, here he is, Arch Manning taking over, the highest rated quarterback ever to sign with a Big 12 school in the ESPN 300 era.
The crowd is loving it.
Looking to his left. And his first pass is complete. We asked Steve Sarkisian this week. Obviously, we know the pressure on him, the spotlight on him. As he rolls to his right, that one batted away.
Exactly. Sark said he does not want Arch Manning to come to Texas and work college football. He wants him to play college football. Enjoy it, man.
Has to throw that one away.
That Arch brings to the table is his ability to move outside of the pocket. I'm not saying he's Lamar Jackson, but he's not your stationary.
But out of high school as far as reading coverages and the mental aspect of the game. So back to the white squad. Quinn Ewers hooking up with Worthy again.
Will as well.
Fastest Texas wide receiver to reach 100 career receptions. Evers in this one.
Snap infraction, number 65, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That one on Jake Major. Match is still getting back into game shape.
Yeah, and the coaches are really excited about Isaiah Neyor.
He had a huge grab in the spring game a year ago, put up big numbers at Wyoming. There's a Texas player leaping over. How healthy can we expect Neyor to be come September?
I think the fact that they're taking it slow with him right now is in his best interest. But it's the mental side of knowing, am I okay? If I put my foot in the ground and turn upfield, am I going to be able to go celebrate in the end zone because I scored a touchdown and not be hurt again?
Final play of the first quarter, that one thrown into coverage.
Was more of a last year decision type of throw. He's trusting his arm to make it and fire it in there, but he's got to be able to see the coverage.
Here's the toss from Malik Murphy to Jonte Cook, who's tied with Xavier Worthy as the highest rated wide receiver signee ever to sign with Texas in the history of the ESPN 300 era. They said he's kind of like a thicker version of Xavier Worthy.
Bigger than Xavier Worthy, but Jonte Cook, you know, he's got some skills as well.
There's the dump off to Kai Woods, cuts back towards the middle. League City.
Yeah, just a little rail route out the backfield, avoids the rush. Nice catch, and I love the finish. Don't run out of bounds. Don't put your foot in the ground and go back vertical.
As time, Murphy. That dart over to DeAndre Moore. You mentioned it at the beginning of the game. The coaching staff says Malik Murphy has the best arm on the team. They say at times he trusted a little too much, gets himself into trouble, but not there.
Yeah, the ballsmanship to fake out the defense, and then look at that dart he just threw to DeAndre Moore. I feel sorry for his hands, man. I know them things is on fire right now.
Here's the give up the middle. Woods evading defenders.
Block and then gets vertical for the yardage. You'd love to see that from a running back.
2nd and 4 from the Orange squad. Again, they go to Woods up the middle.
Line tired out by running the ball constantly at him.
Woods again up the middle. Sark brought that up. He goes, listen, it's going to be one of the hottest days of the year so far. We want to see who's out of shape and who's ready to go.
They're what? 355 pounds, and that's without eating breakfast, so you know they're huffing and puffing right now.
4th and 1. Here's Savion Red spinning off a number of defenders, fighting for yards. They're trying to push him forward. Off a number of defensive players.
Yeah, Savion Red makes a guy miss in the backfield. Spin move. That might be the most impressive no-yard gain we have seen of the day.
To tackle, tough to bring down, and he gives the Orange squad a first down. They go back to Red. Wrapped up by Sydir Mitchell.
Between the tackles and put his head down, you know, a phrase, not really putting his head down, but not be afraid of contact, that's a huge part of his game.
This time he cuts out wide to the near sidelines. Had 6 catches last year, did Red, no carries. Replaced in the backfield by Kai Woods. 3rd and 3. And they give it to the sophomore, brought down immediately.
I mean, I'm telling you, man, the Big 12 championship is clearly in the view of this football team.
Will Stone on for the field goal attempt. Play action fake. Finds a cutting A.D. Mitchell. 3 catches already for the Georgia transfer.
Yeah, it's clear that A.D. Mitchell is going to be a big part of this offense. So quick, just showing off the arm angles that he can make easily without getting his feet set to do earlier in the week.
3rd and 1, Sanders in motion. Baxter, great move, cutting to the inside, and then finally brought down by Jet Bush. Put the moves on the fellow freshman, Malik Muhammad. 1st and 10, Ewers steps up in the pocket. Squad. Here's the give up the middle, again to C.J. Baxter. 7th season. Everyone was counting us out, and he made it his mission to kind of carry that defense at times. A year ago, here's a throw to Jordan Whittington with a big gain on 3rd and long.
It seems like a very simple thing, but it's drop back to pass. When Ewers gets his feet, he's in rhythm. He makes that throw. You see how easy that 20-yard down the field throw was right there? That's what we're talking about when we say the arm talent, but it's the ability to get there at the right time. He's doing it today.
Jaden Blue.
More focused on getting this program to the heights that it should be at, as opposed to getting himself to where he thinks he should be.
Blue with some moves up the middle.
Doing it the right way.
And Ford a huge part of that. Less than 5 to play in the first half. Blue with plenty of running room, sprinting through the defense. A number of defenders, and Jaden Blue is in for the touchdown.
Look at this, Jaden Blue, little counter action, gets out into the open field, and what I love most is the foot speed, and then, look at that, made that man do the cha-cha in the middle. Oh my goodness, talk about Jaden Blue, more like Jaden Black and Blue, because he's beating up the defense. Now running back room, and we are seeing it right now.
Bert Auburn, it's up and good. Hey, you mentioned
for 1,000. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe 2 of them get close.
Saw Keelan Robinson sitting this one out on the sideline. Here's Arch Manning back in the game. Freshman stepping up in the pocket. You said he can move, and picks up a gain on the ground. Yard gain to be exact. He's 1 for 3 through the air so far. And the give to Kai Woods, flying through the defense. Dunks.
Yeah, you got to stay dedicated to the running game, and the offensive line, I think we got to give them the credit that they deserve as well.
7-yard gain. Arch fires it out to his left, bobbled, and ultimately dropped by Kai Woods.
But that offensive line is winning the battle right now.
Final 3.5 minutes of the first half. Arch under pressure, throws it away. And for these final few minutes, we're now joined by Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian. Coach, since Arch is out there, what do you make of the performance by the talented freshman so far?
Well, I thought it was good that, his first play was a pass. He threw a completion, kind of get the jitters out. And I'm sure there's still some. I think this is just his only 2nd series so far. So he's got a lot more series in his career to go. I thought he made a good decision on 1st down right there of tucking it and getting positive yards on 1st down. So these are always the challenging ones, the 3rd longs, trying to make good decisions, tough throws under duress.
As you talk about tough throws under duress, he has one right there. But what have you loved seeing from your running back group so far today? They seem to have accepted the challenge of trying to go out and show that they can be the feature guy in this offense.
Well, what we're always looking for is 1, consistency. Are you running it where it's supposed to go? 2, can you create those explosive plays? And then ultimately, can you take care of the football? And so all 3 of those things I think so far we're seeing. I think they're getting more comfortable, especially in the open field, making guys miss. And I think, we've obviously got some depth on the offensive line, and they're blocking it pretty good right now.
Coach Quinn Ewers, so far 8 for 12, had the big pass to Worthy. What have you seen out of him today?
He just looks comfortable. Looks really under composed. The ball's going where it's supposed to go. What I love right now is that the ball's getting spread to a variety of receivers. You're seeing A.D. Mitchell, you're seeing Xavier Worthy, you saw Jordan Whittington on a big 3rd down, and they, the white team really hasn't gotten J.T. Sanders incorporated into the offense yet. So what I think about is offensively is going to be our versatility, guys that can do multiple things, and we can spread the ball around a little bit more.
Hey, Coach, on the lighter side, what are you telling Xavier Worthy on the sideline when he catches that deep shot and steps out of bounds when he could have scored a touchdown?
I couldn't see it. I really, but my vantage point being on the field, being behind the play, I couldn't tell. I was wondering, did he catch it inbounds? But if you're telling me he could have scored, I'm going to let him know.
He's holding on to everything, though, so far, Coach. And I know he dealt with the broken hand a season ago, but's got the new number and looks healthy out there today.
Kind of broke up on me right there. I lost you.
We were saying Xavier Worthy holding on to everything so far today. We know he was dealing with the broken hand a year ago, but looking healthy today.
I thought Xavier handled it extremely well a year ago, battling through it. And he's come back. He's had a really good spring. He's accepted the challenge of being that go-to guy. And I love what he's bringing to the offense right now.
Coach, talk to us a little bit about the focus on running the football. That's always been a bread and butter for you, but the offensive line seems much improved in trying to wear on this defensive line.
Ball to stop.
Sorry, I got a little connection issue right now.
Can you hear me, Sark?
Now we're breaking up with Coach Sark, but we appreciated him joining us for a few minutes there.
I guess the play of the offensive line has Sark speechless right now.
I guess that's it. Either that or we got terrible reception going on. One or the other. But I wanted to ask him how hot it is down on the field. He was talking about seeing how the players handled the heat. Yep. The field level is much hotter than the regular temperature.
Yeah. It appears our communications are being fried on the field right now because it's so hot.
There you go. Quinn Ewers, the endless puns, I love it. Oh, look at Jay Witt. Jordan Whittington finally dragged down by B.J. Allen.
Look at this right here. Just another nice job of Quinn Ewers dropping back, very, very calm, throws it to his check down, and Jay Witt says, you better bring the whole defense when you try to tackle me. He is a man on a mission, and he don't care whether you're on his team or not.
He loves hitting. I mean, he lives for that. He said, is that one off target?
And Jordan Whittington is one of those.
Of course, had that huge state championship game, running for 334 yards.
See if they get J.T. Sanders involved here.
Ewers had a hold of his jersey. He can run at times. It steps out of bounds.
That way, so these defensive players have to go out there and actually try to finish on the quarterback without hurting.
Worthy cutting back to the outside, outrunning Terrence Brooks, and finally, who says it's just a spring game?
Oh my goodness. I actually gave Xavier Worthy 2 pounds. Right here on our list, we got him at 164 pounds. But watch this. Little inside under route, sets him up, and then he says, hey man, I got power too. Worthy. Then he's going to talk some trash to him too. He said, yeah, I might be little, but I pack a punch, baby.
27-yard gain. A little bit of trickery here for Texas. Worthy with the throw downfield, and Jaden Blue is just trying to duck it. Trying to duck, avoid getting hit. I mean, you can.
Oh my goodness.
I'll let you break down that play.
I don't think. Wow. Jaden Blue said, for who? For what? I'm not trying to make this catch. Look at him. He's like, right. Oh no. That's terrible.
I mean, it's just a spring game. You don't want to get hurt.
That's going to be on the footage after this game. Sark is going to be all up in Jaden Blue, making sure he understands that in that situation, you make the catch. You take one for the team.
I'm glad we don't have Sark mic'd up for that, because there might be words you can repeat on the air. Jordan Whittington with the first down. C.J. Baxter in the backfield now next to Quinn Ewers. Quick throw out to Whittington. Brought down just inside the 15.
The reality for these football players and the schools can keep them in school for long.
Ewers over the middle, and that one hauled in by A.D. Mitchell. What a first half for the Georgia transfer.
Oh my goodness, guys, look at this. Quinn Ewers, super simple drop, makes a throw over the middle, and A.D. Mitchell says, why use 2 when I only need 1? You talk about a touchdown scoring machine. This guy is showing flashes today. I know he's got the green jersey on, but catches like that is what gets you excited for college football season, and we're still months away.
This wide receiver on the team at 6'4", 4 catches for 42 yards and a score in the first half for Mitchell. We didn't know if he was going to play. Let's bring in the head coach to talk about that. Steve Sarkisian rejoined us. Coach A.D. Mitchell with the big first half and that tremendous grab.
Yeah, it really was a good play. You know what? He's been playing well all day. You know, he's had, I don't know, probably 3, 4, 5 catches early in the scrimmage. And sorry, I had to whistle on you there.
Always coaching.
But you know, I think the thing for AD, it's that complementary factor of the fact that, you know, now we've got multiple threats. You have AD, you have Xavier Worthy, you have Jordan Whittington, you have J.T. Sanders. But that's what you should be able to get when you can isolate those guys one-on-one on a safety and then go up and make plays on the ball.
Coach, when you talk about Jordan Whittington, just describe to the fans what he brings to your offense.
Well, he's really the glue to what we do. You know, he's such a smart player. He can play in the slot. He can play outside. He's a really selfless player. He'll block on the perimeter. He always gets the tough yards, makes really good decisions on third down to extend drives, and then he's an excellent player for us on third down as well.
Coach, Jaydon Blue averaged about 8 yards per carry in the first half. Of course, had the big touchdown run, 31 yards. What did you make of his performance coming out of the backfield?
Well, he's a really elusive player out of the backfield. He's great with short area quickness, making people miss in tight quarters. You know, the thing that we've been working on with from last year to this year is, one, taking care of the ball. You know, just how important the ball is for him, especially when you're not as big as other guys. And then two, you know, you're not always going to hit those touchdown big runs like that. And so you've got to find ways to, you know, get 4 and 5 dirty yards sometimes and live to fight another day.
Did you see the play on the sideline with Jaydon Blue where, I mean, you want the players to not get injured there? Was he just protecting himself? RG3 and I want to know what you thought about that.
Well, I didn't love the pass by Xavier Worthy, first of all, so I'm going to critique him first. Kind of got to put it on that guy there. That's always a tough decision, man. That's the life of being a receiver out of the backfield, a receiver in general. All right, when you got to expose your body and make those tough catches like that.
Now that was an amazing answer, Coach. So I want to give you an opportunity.
First down, first down, first down, first down.
Love it. What are you looking for in this second half of the spring game as the energy starts to wane, the heat is starting to take over? What are you telling the team what you want to see from them in the second half?
Well, I think one is watching them still compete. We got to keep competing. You know, it's going to be hot in September. I can promise you that in DKR. So we got to get used to it. I'd like for the orange team to find a little bit more rhythm. You know, they had one nice drive there. They got kind of stifled in the red area, had to get a field goal. So for them to get a little bit of a rhythm and then, you know, try to get this thing into a one-score game into the fourth quarter, make it competitive.
There's a heck of a run by Savion Red up the middle. Coach, before I let you go, I mean, he seems like he can be a major weapon in a number of positions for you this season.
I kind of lost you there, but I'm going with Savion Red. He's had a really good training camp. You know, or spring ball. He's a guy that was a receiver a year ago that we moved to running back this spring. Seems like more of a natural position for him in general. And then in the end, he still then provides us versatility out of the backfield catching the ball. You know, we've heard a lot of he's built like Deebo Samuel. He's not quite Deebo Samuel yet, but hopefully we can kind of continue to grow his game and develop him into that type of a player.
All right, appreciate it, Coach. Thanks again for joining us.
All righty, guys. Thank you.
Of like the spring game things right there on Savion Red's big run. You had Austin Jordan, the DB, coming off the edge in a green jersey, kind of tapped him up, but they didn't count it as a tackle. Some of these things are a little quirky about these many fans and the excitement of the game. It kind of can make you get tired a little bit faster.
Pressure coming in by Anthony Hill. Arch stepping out of bounds. You brought up the...
When you put your hands down and it's like, it's hot. That black turf makes the heat even more unbearable for the players.
Arch in 3rd and long, stepping up. We've seen him run now a few times. Arch officially with 3 carries for 15 yards. Steps up, runs into a teammate, Savion Red, out in the flat. Stringer, everybody's going to be keeping their eye on him until the time he leaves the field.
You know, you're 100% right there about Arch. But it's a part of your growing process as a college quarterback.
Ewers off the fingertips of the defender. Okay, so
honestly, all throughout spring ball, Alfred Collins, number 95, has been a guy that has created some buzz. He's making plays, and that tip right there is probably one of them.
Ewers going deep down the near side again, targeting Worthy.
I call it as an offensive guy, pass interfere without pass interfering. He's running, he can own his own ground. If the ball is too far inside, all you do is you lean on the receiver instead of grabbing and tugging and pulling. That's a great play right there by Terrence Brooks. This game, Alex?
Awful. And you?
Mine's not bad. You got Malik Murphy back here in the game, taking a shot.
Going deep, has a man, and it's dropped by DeAndre Moore, the freshman.
Oh, my goodness. Oof. Oh, my goodness. Listen, DeAndre Moore, early enrollee freshman, These are the type of moments that you beg for in your first spring game. Wide open down the field. Good chance he's going to catch this and waltz into the end zone. Just got to look it in, man. Got to look it in there. I'm not going to go too heavy on him because I went really hard on Jadon Blue. You know what I mean? But those are the moments that you ask for in these situations.
4-star wide receiver coming out of California. Top 15 rated wide receiver in the nation, according to ESPN. So it's 2nd and 10 again. Murphy heaving it down the field. This time it's caught by Johntay Cook, and he's off to the races. Touchdown.
But right here, Maalik Murphy said, why not try it again? I got some juice in this arm, and Johntay Cook cooked that man in front of everybody hibachi style and ran all the way for the touchdown. I can't say it enough, guys. I'm so excited for this college football season coming up because when Texas football is dominant and explosive on offense, and as a team in general, college football is better just by that play right there.
We keep repeating it. The coaches tell us Maalik Murphy has the best arm of any quarterback on the roster. Said it has to be improved this season. And Maalik Murphy, 2 deep balls on the money. One was caught. That one looked like a backwards pass. Worthy recovers it in time.
This is the most talent Texas has had in the quarterback room ever.
You were stepping up, and they will blow that play dead. Shaking hands, wanted to have you on their podcast, meet and greet. It is like an RG3 meet and greet before the game. Well, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to get in the booth and get this thing going. Ewers firing one.
Progression I would love to see from some of these guys, not just come in as a finished product straight out of high school.
There is Arch.
Disappointed because of how you start your career. It's how you finish your career that really matters.
It was Quint Merritt there with the reception. They go back to Savion Red.
And not just be an off-the-ball linebacker.
That'll be ruled a sack.
And guess what?
Anthony Hill.
Right on cue. Right there, Savion's got to work on that part of his game.
High snap. Shaking off the defender.
Sometimes the ball just finds certain defenders, and Anthony Hill is a guy who has a nose for the football. Guys that can come in on both sides of the ball and do that.
Final seconds of the quarter. Arch to his right. Big hit delivered to break up the pass. Moore a little bit slow getting up.
Charged up on that hit. Arch Manning stares down his receiver and toes him into a mouthful of hurt.
Joining us, lifetime Longhorn Colt McCoy down on the field. Colt, how you doing?
I'm hot, man.
It seems steaming down there. I mean, Sark mentioned it earlier. Hey, you and RG3 played against each other at one point. Is that correct?
Sounds like it. You know, Robert's reminded me of that.
Yeah, see, Colt doesn't even remember because they were so dominant at that time. He doesn't remember those Baylor games, but we had a game here in the stadium, 20-20 at halftime. I think Mack Brown went it at halftime and told Colt, "What are you doing, man? Stop playing around." They were pissed, came out, beat us 42-20. But nah, man, me and Colt go way back, and it's good to see you, brother.
Hey, thank you, man. You're doing a great job calling all these games, NFL, college, man. Keep it going. Proud of you.
Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate you.
Colt, what stands out to you when you think back to your spring games as a Longhorn?
People were asking me that question up in the box earlier. I just remember spring being so much fun, right? You're building a team. You know, you're spending all these hours with each other in the spring. You know, the students really aren't into it because you're grinding through those 6 weeks. And I remember by the time you get to the spring game, it was fun because you got to get 2 or 3 possessions in, and then you got to let all the walk-ons, the third, the fourth, the fifth stringers who put in the work every single day. They're at all the weight workouts. They're practicing hard. Some of them are like, you know, the tackling dummies, and they all get to go out there and play on Darrell K. Royal field. Like it's a great time. It was all about team, all about camaraderie, and it's kind of the cap of all the hard work you put in, you know, that offseason.
You know, Cole, one of the marks of the teams, even that you played on, was the explosiveness on offense. And what we've seen today from a bunch of different characters is the ability to push the ball down the field and make big plays. How excited are you to see this Texas team go out and try to win a Big 12 championship and compete for a national title?
Well, I can tell you, just standing on the sidelines, I feel, you know, the energy. The guys look big and strong and fast. I mean, I know Sark, he's aggressive as a play caller, right? He wants to push the ball down the field to guys like Worthy and Sanders. And, you know, I think we have some really good quarterbacks on here on the squad. They all seem to be pushing the ball down. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to it, right? I don't think there's a lack of talent here. You know, I think the expectation is definitely the Big 12 championship. And, you know, it's our last year there before we move to the SEC. So I think the excitement is there. And if we can run the ball and maintain that and stay ahead of the chains, you know Sark's going to throw it down the field.
You know, Colt, I've made a statement twice now on the air about these quarterbacks and how I feel like this is the most talented arm talent group that Texas has ever had. And I remember back in the day with you and Jevin Sneed. Can you remember a room that was quite as talented as the one that they have right now?
No. I mean, I was standing next to Malik Murphy a while ago. It was like, he's bigger than Vince Young. Like, this guy is a monster. You know, he threw 2 dimes in a row. It should have been 2 touchdowns. You know, then you have a big recruit like Arch, who I think is obviously just has the pedigree, right? And Quinn did a nice job last year. So I think it's a competitive room. And Sark, you know, if I was coming out of high school, like, and to have the opportunity to come play at Texas is one thing, but the opportunity to come play in a pro-style system like Sark does is another. And hopefully, you know, the one thing that we just haven't done is win championships, right? That's the goal, and hopefully they can get one done this last year in the Big 12.
Malik Murphy a moment ago with another strike. He's 6 for 8. What would your advice be to these young quarterbacks, whether it's the redshirt freshman Malik Murphy or the true freshman Arch Manning heading into the season?
Yeah, right. That's a great question. I just think as a quarterback, like, this is the time you learn, right? I would just say stay in Coach Sark's hip pocket. Learn the system inside and out. Don't memorize anything. Actually learn the foundation of what we're trying to do, right? Execute the offense. Because I know that Sark's going to formation things. He's going to shift in motion things to get the best matchups. And as long as you can complete the pass, execute the offense, like, we're going to move the ball up and down the field. And I think the biggest answer for us as a whole unit, as a school, is like, who's going to replace Bijan, right? He carried us last year. So somebody will step up. It'll be exciting to watch. But I think the quarterbacks are doing a great job.
We appreciate it, Colt. Great seeing you, and try and stay cool down there on the field.
I'm headed back up to the box.
I'm loving that white shirt, by the way. That white shirt is fly.
Poncho, man, get you on. They're the best.
The one and only Colt McCoy joining us here in the final quarter of the spring game. Malik Murphy, 7 of 9, now 8 of 10.
All right, Alex, we got to call it what it is. Malik Murphy looks really good.
Absolutely.
He looks phenomenal. He's making the simple plays. He's making the big throws down the field. I think, you know, at the end of the day, this is an open competition for the quarterback spot, whether it be the 1 spot or the 2 spot. Quinn Ewers looks phenomenal. Malik Murphy has come out and put on a show today. And Arch Manning, you've seen the glimpses of what he can be, and you've seen the mobility. I'm just beyond impressed with what Malik Murphy has done today to show the fans, hey, don't forget about me.
He's looked great. He's hanging in there in the pocket, finds his receiver, now 9 of 11.
And this throw, to be moving in this direction and throw back across the field there, that's what you call arm talent, guys. Most guys, that ball's going in the dirt, but he has that arm malleability as well.
Completed 5 in a row. And this is a guy who's had some bad luck with injuries coming out of high school. The ankle, had a setback with his foot earlier this spring. Saying, yeah, but
Personal
he's not
foul,
the starter
face mask, number
heading
93.
into this season.
Defense
Let's
half the
put
distance
things
to the
in
goal.
perspective.
First down.
And that's not
Steve Sarkisian told us it's 1st and goal for Murphy. Hands it off. No, play action fake. And that
come with that. But I love the way that Quinn has managed this spring. Come out, make the easy plays, look comfortable out here. And we have all different sides of this. Oh, my goodness. Did he just try to double pass that?
Well, he does everything else. He's played wide receiver, running back, and now attempting a pass intended for Gunnar Helm.
I don't think I've ever seen a double pass try to get completed while 3 guys are trying to tackle you. Malik Murphy, unless you knew him and were rooting for him, that some people might have forgotten about him. And he's managed that as well.
Murphy going to take off and run with it. When you talk about with 369 passing yards, completing nearly 70%. Those passes, Murphy into the end zone.
Wow.
On 4th and goal.
See right here, Malik Murphy goes through his progression. Right to left, right down the middle of the field. Maybe that ball could have been more chest level so the defender couldn't come through in arm fight with Gunnar Helm there. But when you watch that back, man, did he throw a rifle. This guy has an unbelievably strong arm. A couple drops there that you saw from some of the receivers will affect his numbers. But I don't think you could have asked for a better spring game from Maalik Murphy if you were somebody that was rooting for him, his family, himself. He's come out, he's put his best foot forward today, and he should be very excited about the way he's playing.
Yards through the air and a touchdown. Charles Wright now takes over with a handoff out of his own end zone. As you said, the goal is to play clean football, injury-free, not many penalties. See who steps up as playmaker.
Robinson. These guys have been limited all spring. When they come back out in fall camp and getting ready for the season, this running back room is going to be that much more explosive.
From that torn ACL and missing this game as well. Charles Wright, A.D. Mitchell.
Whittington, Xavier Worthy, I mean, they're 4-5 deep, and they still got a bunch of young guys that are going to be making plays for them as well.
Rusher. Right, even it downfield. Past his intended target. Final 3.5 of the spring game. There's the handoff to Colin Page.
Say, hey, if we absolutely have to play this guy, he can make plays too. Ooh.
Right, escapability. Tiptoeing down the sidelines. Yeah, throwing the ball, Arch 5 of 13, but I think you're right, his most impressive.
For Quinn, what I love most is we've seen those big explosive plays from him last year, but we saw the simple plays today, the check down throws, the getting through his progressions and making the...
Steve Sarkisian. Arch Manning rotating the final few plays at quarterback with Cole Lord.
By what is going on the field right now.
Stepping up in the pocket. Will be ruled another sack.
Back and tackle him to the ground or really even touch him. But you have to be encouraged from what you've seen.
Pocket just collapsing again on the freshman. Quinn Ewers, 16 of 23. For the most part, did look improved from a season ago. Arch freshman, 5 of 13, 30 yards. Couple scrambles as well. And Maalik Murphy, tremendous, 9 of 13, 165 and a touchdown. Had the huge bomb to Jonte Cook. Had another one that was dropped, and he really has been one of the highlights today.
Yeah, I think Maalik Murphy has been the highlight of today's game. You talk about his ability to not just push the ball down the field, to not just make the simple plays, but when he was in at quarterback, the offense just moved down the field. And I think that's something that can never be undervalued from the quarterback position.
Extremely important. The fake handoff by Joe Tatum. This is his one shining moment, and that will do it for the orange and white spring game. The white squad led by Quinn Ewers takes it 21-10. RG3, your final thoughts on this one?
I mean this, and I'm not just saying this because we're on Longhorn Network. I think the Big 12, Texas is back when it comes to their ability to go out and get explosive plays, their ability to play what looked like to me some pretty decent defense for the majority of the day. I don't want to make any declarations like some of my broadcast buddies might, but when I look at the Big 12 and the national landscape, this Texas team is more ready to compete now than it ever has been, and that's a tip of the cap to Sark. This quarterback room, you mentioned it. If there's some injuries, they have depth. I'm very excited for this team.